Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Patrick and I'm an artist in Montgomery, Alabama. In this video, I'm going to be doing a studio tour because my studio has gone through a ton of changes in the last year, so I'm going to be showing you how I've got everything set up. But before I do that, I want to do a huge shout out to my friends at Lazy Nerds Designs who hooked me up with this amazing hat, and we're going to be working together to put my artwork on all sorts of hats and shirts and apparel and amazing things that you can check out on my website at pdshawn.com. So let's get started. The first stop on the tour are these tripods that I trip over constantly, but they're for my light kit, so I gotta have them. Over here is where I keep all of my canvases. I try to keep various sizes in stock, so whenever I'm ready to start painting, I can just grab the size I need. And I've also got some canvases that have backgrounds already painted on them. So if I have a project that fits, I can just grab one of these. And then I've got this giant roll of paper here that I use for my larger projects, so I can sketch everything out on one giant piece of paper. On this first set of shelves, I have a bunch of different supplies. I keep my hairdryer for drying paintings, umbrellas for my lighting kit. I've got a cleaning kit for my camera. My coffee machine is here with all my nerdy coffee cups. And here's a little self-portrait as a pop figure. You can head over to the commissions tab of my website to submit a request and I'll paint you as a little pop figure too. Down here I have various tools, shims, brackets, tape measure, masking tape, some cheap brushes right here. I've got a couple test canvases. I use these whenever I get a new product and I'm not sure if it'll play well with my paints. So I test them on these canvases before I use them on any project. I also have stacks of paper for smaller sketches, notes for projects I'm planning. And then on this very bottom shelf, I have frames and a couple thrift store finds that I'm going to paint over. So all this is going to be for future projects. Next, I've got this set up for mounting my camera. This is just a banner stand that I use when I go to Comic-Cons or art shows, and while I'm in the studio, I use it for my camera. And I really like it because it's not mounted to my desk, so it's not stationary. I use it for doing down angle and overhead shots while I'm painting. I can move it around my studio for whatever angle I need to adjust it up or down, depending on the size of the project I'm working on. And when I'm done, the tripods sit on either side of my desk, so it's the perfect size for this space. And right here is where all the art happens. This is the desk where I paint. I've got a couple more supplies here, some pencils, sharpeners, erasers. I've got these detail brushes. I love stickers, so I started a collage on my desk. I even have a couple of my own stickers on here. I'm not very good to my brushes. I usually forget them in dirty water, so I just buy the cheap ones. On these shelves, I've got some transfer paper, Bristol paper for sketching, and an overhead projector for doing murals. I've got this pull-out shelf where I keep my palettes and a couple palette knives. And on this top shelf, I've got a couple more cheap brushes, paintings, a couple of knickknacks. Then up here is this big 2 foot by 4 foot octopus painting that I did in one of my earlier videos. Over here I've got more shelf space. I've got my tech stuff up here, cords, wires, camera mounts, clips, zip ties. I've got microphones, chargers, desktop tripods, webcams, brackets, spare batteries, mini cameras. I've just got so much stuff piled up here, but when I need it, here it is. I keep my paint on these two shelves and I prefer to use Master Touch. I've used other brands of paint, but I really like the consistency of Master Touch. On this next shelf, I have more thrift store finds that I'm planning on painting over, so these are more future projects. And at the very bottom, I've got a pile of rags for wiping my brushes off after I rinse them. This is my daughter's art station next to mine, so we can work side by side. So this is where she does all of her drawing, sketching, and painting. Here's where I work full-time from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And next to my work computer is my personal computer where I do all of my editing for YouTube videos and creating digital sketches. I've got it hooked up to this TV that I'm using as a giant monitor so I can run multiple applications. And the last stop on my studio tour is where I keep all of my spray paints. It's not a lot, but I have at least one of every primary color and a few different brands. I really enjoy using spray paint in my artwork, so I'm planning on using these a lot more often. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Check out my website, pdshawn.com, for some of my merch. Also, check out my Instagram, pdshawn.studios, and I'll see you next time.